Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be testing Profusion Cosmetics. I recently placed a pretty big order on there. I pretty much got everything to do a full face besides like primer, foundation, concealer, powder, mascara. They don't really carry face products. They do carry a concealer palette, but when I placed my order, that was out of stock. But I do have everything else to complete a full face: brows, eyeshadow, blush, contour, and all of that stuff. So if you guys have never heard of Profusion Cosmetics, they are an indie brand. I believe they launched in 2018. I believe they're fairly new, but I will definitely have their website and all of their information listed down below for you guys. What intrigued me the most about trying this stuff is that everything is so affordable. Nothing that I'm going to be showing you guys today is more expensive than $10, and I want to say $10 is the most expensive price point that they have on their website. You seriously can get their stuff for a steal, so I'm really intrigued to test it out. I know a lot of people say you get what you pay for, but then there are also brands that provide amazing quality things for such low prices. So I figured that this would be an interesting video to really just put a lot of what they have to the test and see how it performs and stuff on the face. I purchased all of this stuff on Profusion's website. Profusion Cosmetics is currently moving their stuff into Target, so if you guys want to go check your Target makeup section, you may have luck finding Profusion there. I found some Profusion as well at Duane Reade here in Manhattan, so I guess it's kind of moving into certain drugstores, Target, but like I said, I just purchased everything on the website. But I'm really excited to kind of dig my hands into some of these goodies, put them to the test, and use them because, like I said, the price point was so intriguing, and if they can provide really great quality products for that low price, I definitely would want to share that with you guys. So I really hope that you guys enjoy seeing this video, and without further ado, let's just get on into testing Profusion Cosmetics. One thing that I want to mention and give such kudos to Profusion for is their shipping. I ordered this on Monday and it arrived on Friday. This came in 4 days with standard shipping, which I thought was really, really impressive. It was also packed amazing. If you guys want to see how everything was packed and kind of like my initial first impression when I went and unboxed all of these things, you could check out my unboxing highlight on my Instagram. I did a little unboxing when this came in. So first things first, I always normally do my brows. So from Profusion, I picked up their brows light to medium 8-piece brow defining kit. I was really interested in this. First of all, can we talk about the packaging of some of these products? A lot of their products have like this gorgeous holographic packaging, but I was really intrigued by this brow set because it was only $7, which is a steal, but you get so much stuff. So first you have a palette which comes with the brush and the spoolie, and you get a brow primer, a brow highlighter, and then the 2 shades to actually fill in your brows. You also get a brow pencil, a brow gel, and a tweezer, which I thought was a lot of stuff for $7. So I just pulled everything out of the packaging now, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna do the tweezer first. I did just pluck my brows yesterday, so I don't really know if I'm gonna have anything to actually like tweeze, but I'm gonna take a look because I really want to see if the quality of these tweezers are good. I feel like tweezers are so expensive, at least ones that I've seen. At least a good tweezer is expensive, so the fact that they can include it in a $7 set along with all of this other stuff, I feel like is really great. So if it is a good tweezer, that would be awesome. I mean, I don't really have like, I have stray hairs, but I don't have like substantial big hairs to tweeze because I just did it yesterday. Okay, so it is plucking. I definitely don't feel like it's the best tweezer that I've tried, but it's definitely not horrible. It's definitely not grabbing like my tiny hairs that I have underneath my brows. I did grab like a couple bigger pieces on the top of my brow, and I was able to pluck those out. So I don't really know if I'm going to be using this again to actually tweeze my brows, but I could always use an extra pair of tweezers to apply lashes and stuff like that. So to actually sculpt out my brows, I want to go in and start with the brow pencil that it came with. I don't really know how this color is gonna work for me, but this is the light to medium set, and the medium to dark set just looked like it would be way too dark for my brows. So I'm actually gonna pull out the spoolie. It's a little bit rough, the spoolie, but it's definitely not bad. I just can't be like as heavy-handed with it as I usually am because it is a little scratchy. So now I'm gonna go in with the pencil. Traditionally, I like never use pencils to actually fill in my brows. So I think I'm gonna just kind of take this to do a little bit of outlining, and then I will fill in with the powder. Oh, that's actually a lot more pigmented than I expected. I'm like barely pressing down too, and I feel like a lot of pigment is coming off of the pencil. And I really love how the color of this isn't too warm. I hate when my brows are really, really warm. My hair is kind of like a golden color, but I also feel like my brows are so cool tone and like gray to begin with. I don't like when I bring too much warmth into my brows. I feel like they look a little bit strange. I always like to keep my brows more on the cool tone side, so I'm really happy that this isn't super warm, and I really like the color of this so far. This actually smells like a colored pencil. That's funny. Now I'm gonna move on to actually filling in the brow, and this is the brow palette. Like I said, I got this in light to medium, and it comes with the 4 different things on the inside. So you have the brow primer, this is like a highlighting powder, and then you get your 2 different shades. I was gonna start off with this last one, but I think I'm gonna mix them both together. This one definitely has that ashy undertone that I like, but I don't want it to be too dark right off the bat. So I think I'm gonna start by mixing them together, and then we will see kind of how that color is. I feel like this is definitely giving me a very natural looking brow, which I like because they still look intense, but like the texture of them looks very, very like natural and hair-like. Ooh, okay, I'm not mad at that at all. I actually really like how that's looking. Okay, so here are the brows. I really think the products are nice. I am gonna go in and clean my brows up with some concealer though. This brow actually came out much nicer than this brow, but this is my bad eyebrow. I know we all have a bad eyebrow, so no judgment, but I think I have to go in and clean this one up with a little concealer. Personally for me, I just felt like I couldn't get a super thin tail like I normally like, so I'm gonna go in with some concealer, carve out the brows, and then I will be right back. Honestly, for a $7 kit, I feel like my brows look really good, and I also really love the color of them. I feel like this shade is absolutely perfect if you have like a similar tone to me as far as your hair and your eyebrows go. So I actually really like this. I didn't try out like the wax or anything because I normally am a little scared of trying eyebrow primers, but definitely at the end of this video, I want to try the brow highlighter to highlight my brow bone as well as the brow gel. But I like to do those steps last because when I do my makeup and stuff, sometimes I ruin my brows and have to like touch them up and stuff as we go along. So far I am really liking this though, and like I said, I think the price point is amazing for everything that you are getting in here. So when I was browsing Profusion's website, I cannot believe how amazing their eyeshadow palettes looked and how cheap they actually were. So I picked up 2 of them. I was just gonna get one, but you guys know I have an obsession with eyeshadow palettes, so I couldn't just leave one. So the first one that I picked up was their 21 shade eyeshadow palette in dual ended brush, and this is in the chocolate set. I wanted to get something a little bit different. You guys know that I'm super into my warm tones and like fiery tones, and they had so many gorgeous like warm fiery palettes, and I was really tempted, but this one caught my eye for some reason. This one I think has the most beautiful fall shades, and I'm just peeling this off. So satisfying. So here's the chocolates palette from Profusion, you guys. I just thought that this was so gorgeous, and for some reason, like I said, over all of the warm palettes that they had, this one just caught my eye. I felt like it was beautiful for the fall time and the holiday season. So let me go in and do some swatches. Ooh, those are really pretty. So this shade right here is called Blitz, and then this one is Sunny. That is this one, and then that one. I'm gonna go in and do this green shade right here, which is called Cypress. Ooh, that's really pretty too. So those are some of the shades in the chocolates palette. I'm not exactly sure what kind of look I want to go today, but this Blitz shade is really kind of catching my eye, but we will see what I end up doing. I want to go in and swatch all of these, but I have to save that for another day. So as gorgeous as this palette is, when I was analyzing it online, I realized that it was kind of lacking some transition shades. It has all of those gorgeous like lid shades that I love, and it definitely has highlight shades, deepening shades, but I felt like it was lacking just like a nice mid-tone transition. So I wanted to pick up another palette from them. These are their 10 shade eyeshadow palettes, and these are only $5, and I picked up the mattes palette because as you guys can see, this just has a huge variety of those mid-tone brown transition shades, a couple of warm shades in there. So I wanted to pick this up as well, and like I said, this was only $5, so a great deal for this. And here is what this mattes palette looks like. I know I do not need any more shades like this in my collection, you guys, but I really feel like I just wanted to try some from Profusion. Ooh, these are really soft. So here are some of the shades from the mattes palette, you guys. These feel so smooth and so buttery. I feel like these are really, really promising. Enough rambling, let's just go ahead and get into actually testing out these shadows. I feel like this palette has so many great transition shades. I don't even know which one to exactly start with. I'm actually just gonna start off with the shade Fly, and then if anything, I could go in and deepen it up after. So off of initially tapping in the pan, it does have a little fallout, you guys, but it's not much at all. This shade right here, it's not much at all. Just a little bit of powder comes up there, but not a lot. But this is actually applying really smoothly, you guys. It's blending out really seamlessly too. It's not giving me problems at all so far. Okay, so just to deepen up that transition and focus a little bit more on my crease, I'm gonna go in with the shade right here, which is the shade Proud, and I'm just taking that on a little bit more of a smaller brush. This is the Sigma E38 diffused crease, just to focus this a little bit more into the crease. Ooh, I love shades like this. This is definitely like my favorite kind of transition shade. This is gorgeous, this brown. So I think I'm done using this palette, you guys. This was so great so far. I definitely want to continue to use this. I love how those shades blended in my transition. I also think this is going to be that perfect palette for me, like if I'm on the go and I just need to throw a couple browns on my lid. I definitely see myself using this because you have transitions, you have highlight shades, and then deepening shades here as well. So definitely a great palette. I think it performed beautifully on the eyes today. For my outer corner, I think I'm going to go in with the shade, which is Fuse. No surprise there. You guys know I love a deep chocolatey brown. I just can't get over how gorgeous this palette looks, but I'm gonna go in with Fuse just to start by deepening up that outer corner. I feel like if a palette or a formula of eyeshadows does have inconsistencies, they're going to come out in the deeper shades as well as the more colorful shades, but right now so far in this Fuse shade, I do not see anything wrong with it. It's actually going on very, very smoothly. I like this so far. So just switching over to my Sigma E70, this is just like a classic angled shader, and I'm just gonna try to pack this shade on here and see if I could get it a little more deep. For my lid, I think I am going to go in with that Blitz shade that I showed you guys earlier, this one right here. I just think this is so gorgeous, and the formula of this almost reminds me of like those Huda Beauty like glitters. Actually, I've never tried a Huda Beauty palette, but like the ones from like Shop Hush, I feel like they're kind of similar to those. They're almost like a chunky glitter that I feel like you definitely need some Fix Plus or something to get them to stick. So I'm gonna test out the brush that came with the palette. So I'm just gonna use a little Fix Plus. I do not like that at all, you guys. I don't know if I like that, you guys. I don't know what to do. So I think that shadow is a little too chunky to wear on its own. I actually just wiped it off a little bit, but I think I'm gonna use the shade Cypress first, which is this olive green right here, and then I'm gonna go in and lay some Blitz on top of it. I feel like it just needs a base shade. It's kind of just like a chunky glitter, and it doesn't look that great by itself. So I'm gonna go in first with Cypress. I don't think I like this brush, you guys. I think it's the brush that I'm not liking right now. You guys, I'm like having trouble with these dark shades right now. Yeah, these shades definitely perform better with the finger. I just don't always like using my finger because I like to get more precise when I get close to my crease, but definitely the quality with the finger is on a whole other level. It's way better. I don't know if you guys can see, I'll get a little closer. That just went on like way smoother with my finger. I mean, I definitely have to fix it and like blend it out, but with a brush that was not working at all with or without Fix Plus. So definitely I would say finger, at least for this particular shade. So I'm just gonna go back in with the shade that I used in my crease. This one is called Proud, just to kind of try to blend that green out a little better that's on my lid. So far, these are like my favorite shadows out of what I've tried. So I don't know if you guys can see kind of where I put that green. It's honestly just kind of sticking. I don't know if it's because I wet the shadow, but like those edges are just not really blending too well. So definitely not my favorite shadow. Right now I'm just taking a super tiny pencil brush trying to blend out those edges, but I don't think they're gonna move. I could literally keep trying to blend that green shade forever, but I think I'm just gonna step away from it for a bit. And I think what would really help this look better is probably going in and darkening it. Oh wait. So I just realized that both of these palettes actually have that dark brown Fuse shade that I used. This one right here in the Chocolates palette, and then this bottom corner shade right here in the Mattes palette is also Fuse. I'm actually gonna swatch them. I wonder, they actually look a little different. Not like too much, but I definitely would say they're a little different. Let me show you guys. So let me see if you guys will be able to tell on camera. I swatched it in such an awkward spot, but this right here is the Fuse from the Mattes palette, and the one on top is the Fuse from the Chocolates palette. I feel like the one from the matte palette is just a little bit deeper and like slightly more cool, whereas this has like a tiny bit bit of warmth in it from the Chocolates palette. Okay, so I'm hopping back to the Mattes palette because I feel like that is just what's working for me best right now. And I'm gonna take this dark brown shade right here, which is Devious. It actually looks like brown, but it almost has a slight plum undertone, which you guys know I love shades like that. And I just want to deepen up the outer corner. Like I said, I think it will just help fix the eyes a bit because I'm not really liking them so far. Oh yeah, that's like really nice and dark, way darker than Fuse was before that I tried. That shade is so good, you guys. I am absolutely loving this Mattes palette so far, like way more than the Chocolates palette. I don't even know if that's fair to say because I only used like the 2 shades out of the Chocolates palette, but I feel like I could tell pretty quickly quality wise what I like and what I don't like. So while I'm here, I'm just gonna go back into that brow palette and highlight my brow bone now, just with that powder highlight shade. Ooh, that looks really pigmented. I like the color of this because it's not like a stark white. I believe the medium to dark eyebrow kit has more of like a banana peachy type of powder in there. I think it's nice. It's kind of like your typical like cream eyeshadow, I would definitely say, but it is nice that it came in the kit. Okay, so before I move on to the face, I just want to try one more thing on the eyes. I feel like I want to try another shade. Obviously, I'm going to keep testing this out because I feel like using that dark shade isn't 100% a fair test because like I said, I feel like dark shades like are harder to formulate and aren't always as good as lighter shades, but I just want to kind of try to brighten up the inner part of the lid a little bit. So I'm going to take this shade right here, right above Cypress, which is called Glory, which is just like a nice kind of metallic gold shade. And I really just want to place that right on the inner third of my eye just to try to brighten things up a little bit. I feel like it definitely brightened it up a little. I just feel like when you pick up the shades with your finger, it picks up so much product, and even like when you swatch it like this, there's so much product, but when you actually go to apply it down, only like the glitter particles kind of stick to your eye. Like I'm feeling like I'm not getting a full like bam pigment on the lid, but like I said, I'm definitely gonna have to play around with that palette more, but so far I'm preferring the mattes for sure. All right, you guys, so I just popped off camera and applied my foundation and concealer. Like I said, Profusion does offer a BB cream, I believe, as well as some concealer palettes, but I totally knew I just wouldn't like a BB cream. Nothing against like saying that Profusions would be bad. I just don't wear BB creams ever in general, and that is all I saw on the website as far as like full complexions products go. And like I said, they do have concealer palettes, but they were out of stock at the time that I ordered this video. So I just did those 2 steps off camera. What I was really intrigued with when I saw it on the website was the Profusion Pro Contour Palette. Tell me this does not look exactly like the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, you guys. When I saw this on the website, I was like, wait a second, that looks very, very familiar. So I'm sure that this was meant to be a dupe of the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette because everyone loves that palette. That palette is amazing quality. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, then you know that I actually went completely through those 2 lighter shades in my Kat Von D palette. I didn't get an actual bronzer from Profusion, but I think I could use this center shade as a bronzer. I think it's warm enough, and then maybe I'll go in with this one to do a little bit of contouring. So like I said, I just needed to try this one out because I love my Shade and Light palette so much. Unfortunately, I don't have my Shade and Light palette here in school with me to actually like do swatches and compare the 2 for you guys, but obviously right off the bat, it looks exactly like it, so I'm hoping that it has similar performance. Ooh, those are very creamy powders. Ooh, so those are the 2 highlighting shades, which I really like. I usually don't use these like under my eye or anything. I usually use these to actually set my eyelid, which is my favorite way to use powders like this. They have like a slight sheen to them, but nothing really illuminating. They're just not 100% matte, I would say these highlighting shades are. And then let me go in and swatch the 3 contour shades. So those are what they look like. This is the cool tone one, the more bronzer shade, and then the very, very deep shade. I probably wouldn't ever use that really deep shade. I think that's awesome to have in like a kit if you have clients with deeper skin tones, or if you have a deeper skin tone, this might be really awesome on you. These definitely do look a bit more sheer than the Kat Von D ones, but it was only $8, so I feel like you can't necessarily expect the same exact quality as a $42 or $45 contour palette, but I feel like the shades are really close, and if you guys are on a budget, I hope that this works out. So let's put it to the test now. So I'm gonna take this middle shade. Ooh, I don't know how much I should take. Again, a little bit powdery, but let's see. So So just off of first impression with this contour powder, definitely not as good as the Kat Von D palette, but I'm not necessarily saying it's bad either. I feel like if you are a beginner, something like that Kat Von D palette is going to be very, very overwhelming if you are new to contouring. It is very pigmented. It packs a huge punch. And I feel like a lot of you guys that watch my channel or watch channels in general are looking for like easy tips and tricks and beginner friendly products that's gonna make something like contouring easy, because it's not easy. Like learning how to do makeup and what suits your face and what shades and techniques fit you, it definitely is like a process. So I feel like if I can recommend beginner friendly products to you guys, that is totally something that I want to do, instead of just saying it doesn't really show up, the formula is too dry. So personally for me, I would prefer something a little bit more pigmented than this, but I also think a lot of you guys would like this because it makes the process easier and less foolproof, if that makes sense. But I actually really like the bronze it's giving me. I don't know if you guys can see, I think that's a gorgeous undertone. And then just to intensify that look, I'm gonna go in with the tiniest bit of this cool tone contour color. Typically this would be a little bit too cool tone for me, but I just want to just pop a little bit right in the back of my cheekbone right here, just to test it out. Yeah, that is a really, really cool tone. Some of my favorite ways to use highlighting powders like this that come in palettes are to actually clean up where I bronzed and contoured. So I'm just gonna take a mixture of those two shades just to kind of clean up this area, just to make sure I didn't take the bronzer or contour too far down on the face. So far, this one seems really nice. So next up from Profusion, I'm gonna be trying out their blush palette. This is their holiday blush palette, I believe, that they just came out with. I think they do have another blush palette that looks like this, but the colors are a little bit lighter. But you guys know when I wear blush, which I've been really obsessed with blush lately. If you guys remember like the beginnings of Jackie and I absolutely hated blush. I never wore blush and now I'm like, give me all the blush. I love wearing blush. Okay, I need to stop saying blush. I really like how the actual packaging looks. I have to say though that this is like the cheapest packaging that I have felt from them so far out of their other palettes, but this was only $5 and this is what this looks like. So like I said, I love deep blush shades like this. When I do wear blush, I love a good like deep peach. I almost love something like this that almost looks like a bronzer in a way, and I just think it's so pretty. So let me swatch a couple of these to show you guys. These are really pretty. So here's some of them on my fingers. This one is really interesting. I think you guys know I'm probably gonna go for this middle one. I think that peachy shade is going to look best with the deep green that I have going on my eyes, and then it's also going to match the lip shade that I picked out. So if you guys are wondering, that one is this blush shade right here, which is called Exhale. I'm just gonna take this on my blush brush. Oh, that actually looks like it picked up a nice amount of product, if you guys can see there. And then just very gently gonna go in. I don't wanna go overboard at first because I feel like when you're trying a new blush, it's really, oh wow, I already kind of went overboard. I'm gonna put a little here. That's really pretty. I'm so excited for this too, you guys. I picked up the Blush and Glow one. This is their 5-color blush and highlight palette. This packaging is to die for, again, like I said a million times. So for the blush topper first, I'm gonna go in with the shade Sparks right here. I feel like you probably could totally just use these as a normal blush, but I like to do a matte blush first, and then if I'm feeling it, just put a little bit of the shimmery blush on top. I just wanna do the tiniest amount of that because I feel like my face is pretty radiant. I feel like that bronzer had a little bit of a sheen to it already. And then here are the 3 shades of highlighter. I think I'm going to go in with this one, which is called Elated, just because it has like the most warm peachy undertone. This one is kind of like a straight up white pearl, and then this one is one of those golds that almost has like a slight yellowy green undertone. So I'm gonna go in with this one, which is this last one right here in the palette called Elated. Ooh, that's pretty. This is kind of reminding me of Champagne Pop. I don't know if you guys see it, but this really has like that peachy undertone. I really like this. I feel like, of course, it's intense. Obviously, you guys can see, and it's not like natural by any means, but I feel like comparing it to something like the Wet n Wild highlights, this one isn't as like foily looking, if that makes any sense. And I feel like you could really like, whoa, that was a lot. And I feel like you could either wear it like super subtle or you could build it up, which apparently I'm building it up a lot right now. I think that's really pretty. There's something about this formula that I feel like it's almost a little more subtle than typical highlighters, but it's still very intense at the same time. I don't know if you guys see what I'm talking about, but I really like it. And like I said, this shade reminds me a lot of Champagne Pop by Becca and Jaclyn Hill. So jumping back to the eyes for a second, I'm gonna work on my inner corner and my lower lash line. For my inner corner, I'm gonna go back into the chocolate palette, give it another shot, and I'm gonna take this shade right here, which is the shade Frolic. It just looks like a classic champagne shade. That's really pretty. Right off the bat, I like that better than the olive green. For my lower lash line, I'm going back in with the Mattes palette, of course. This is so good, you guys. I love it. I'm just gonna take that same Proud shade right here, if it'll focus right there, and start running this under my lower lash line. All right, you guys, so I just went in and popped on some mascara. The last thing that we have to test out in this video today, I know it's a long video, so if you made it to the end, you're amazing, but the next thing and the last thing to test out from Profusion is this Lips to Go set, and this is the Matte Lip Cream, Matte Lip Liner, and Sparkling Lip Topper set. So this is what this looks like, and I got mine in the shade Charm, which looks like a really nice burnt orange shade, really nice for fall. So I believe that this was only $5 or $6 as well, which I thought was amazing for 3 full-size lip products. So I'm gonna start by opening it first, if I could get it open. So here are the 3 products you get in the kit. Like I said, you get a lip liner, a lip topper, and the matte lip cream. So I'm gonna start off with the lip liner. I hope this lip combo looks okay with this eye look. I went a little bit darker with my eyes than planned, so hopefully I don't look too crazy. So the liner is a twist up crayon, which looks amazing. These are my favorite types of lip liners. Oh, it smells good. It smells like something from my childhood, you guys. I don't know what it is though. And then here's the applicator on the matte lip cream. It kind of has a divot in it, so it really is going to like hug the lips, I feel. Ooh, I don't know if I like that. I feel like it's almost getting more stuck on my lips than actually easy gliding, but I love this color. This is so up my alley. So the lip has been drying down for about 3 to 4 minutes now, and it feels like just a traditional liquid lipstick. It's not the most comfortable, but it's not uncomfortable either. And when I say it's not the most uncomfortable, I'm just comparing that to like a traditional creamy lipstick or like a creamy tube lipstick. Obviously a liquid lipstick isn't going to give you that comfort, but it is pretty comfortable for it being a total dry down liquid lipstick. I just want to show you guys. This is the second time that I did it, so you might see 2 circles, but when I kiss my hand, you only get that very outside transfer of the ring around your mouth, which I feel like is pretty common with liquid lipsticks. I don't know why that part always tends to transfer the most, but I love the color. Like I said, I really like how the lip is looking matte, so I think I'm going to skip out on actually applying the lip topper, but I just want to show you guys what it actually looks like. And then it actually looks more like a lip gloss brush than a liquid lipstick. There is what the lip topper looks like. It's basically just like a very sparkly gloss. I'm typically not too into things like this, but I think that this would be fun. Maybe just to pop on like the center of the lip, so you could even just like pat some on your Cupid's bow or something. I think that would be really pretty. But like I said, I'm really just feeling how this looks matte. I think it looks kind of like grungy and very fall vibes. I don't know, that's what I'm getting from this look. But that is everything from Profusion. Right now I'm just gonna give you guys a rundown of what I like, what I didn't like, what stood out to me the most, and stuff like that. And actually really quickly before I get into that, I just want to test out the brow gel because I forgot to do that earlier. Wow, that's like so thin. I don't even feel like I just put anything on my brows, but I feel like it made them look like nice and even and like a little bit more fluffy and hair-like, so that's nice. All right, so just to give you guys a quick rundown on everything, the 2 things that 100% stood out to me the most are the Mattes palette and the eyebrow set. I feel like my eyebrows look really good. I feel like when I first tried it out, I was a little bit iffy, but I love the end result. I feel like my brows look so intense, but at the same time, they still look very like natural. They still have like a very like faded hair-like effect to them. I really love those products in the brows. I think the shade is perfect, and I love how they look. So this is a huge hit for me, this brow kit. I definitely would recommend it to you guys if you are in the market for a new brow product, or if you just want to try some Profusion makeup. And then of course the Mattes palette. These shadows are so good, you guys. I was so impressed, and I see myself getting so much more use out of this. I know that this is such a basic palette, and I definitely don't need any more shades like this in my collection, but I really love this. I feel like the quality of this was so good, and definitely they performed awesome on the lid. palette. These were definitely the easiest to blend in my opinion out of this and the other palette, and they also just look the best on the lid. So I really love this, and for only $5, if you guys are looking for just amazing, I mean, this is a big palette for only $5. I feel like these are all the shades that one would need to create a cohesive looking eye look. You have your highlight shades, your middle transition shades, and then your really, really deep shades. I love this palette. I'm totally going to continue to use it, and I just think it's amazing. And that price point though is even better. The Blush and Glow Volume 1 palette was also something that really stood out to me. I think the quality of this is really good, you guys. I think that highlighter is the perfect mix of like intense but natural. It doesn't have that foiled look. It doesn't have any glitter in it. It's just very beautiful and like shiny and glowy on the cheeks, and it is very buildable. When I first started applying it, you can definitely do just a little bit, or you could build it up to be a lot more intense like I did. And I think these blushes, these actually remind me a lot of those two Wet n Wild blush toppers that from their Flights of Fancy collection. So I feel like if you missed out on those, these are literally like the same two exact shades that Wet n Wild came out with. But I'm really impressed with the formula of this, so this is a big hit for me too. The blush palette was really nice as well, you guys. One thing that kind of turns me off from it is the actual packaging. I feel like all the other packaging that I got is so nice and sturdy. I can't even say it's because the price point, because this one is $5 as well, and so is this, and this packaging is so much nicer. I feel like this one is pretty to look at, but if you guys feel it, this just feels very cheap in the hand. Other than that, because I know formula is more important, so far the blush that I tried I really did like. I really love the colors of these blushes. Like I said, I see myself incorporating a lot of these into my everyday looks. I've become such a blush person, so I really feel like I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this. Like I said, the packaging aside, I really think that the layout is cute, and I even think something like this for only $5 would be the most adorable stocking stuffer or just a nice gift in general. So I really like this one too. I found the Lips to Go set to be really nice as well. I feel like this is one of my favorite products that I tried in today's video. I love the color. The lip liner was great. I love the lip liner. I love the crayon, and it smells like something from my childhood, like I mentioned. I'm not a huge liquid lipstick person. I've been into traditional lipsticks, creamy lipsticks, stuff like that, but this one is really comfortable. The more I wear it, the more I don't even feel like I have it on, and it is that really awesome transfer proof formula as well. But I definitely would say my favorite thing about this is the shade. I love this classic burnt orange, so amazing for fall. And then I also love that you get 3 full-size lip products for $5. So again, another really awesome like stocking stuffer. I'm starting to have some mixed feelings when it comes to the contour palette, because I really like it, and like I was explaining before, it is very beginners friendly. It just has to be built up a little bit, but I feel like it's shiny, you guys. I don't know what about it. I feel like when I applied the bronzer, it just has a sheen to it. I feel like there's something in these powders that's not 100% matte, and I do usually prefer matte bronzers and matte contours. I love the highlight shades. I'm so happy to have more highlight shades like this back in my collection, because if you guys could see my Kat Von D palette, there's absolutely nothing here. And lastly, the last thing that I want to talk about is the Chocolates eyeshadow palette, and I feel like this was my least favorite thing that I tried today, which I was really bummed about because this was what I was most excited for initially. I definitely feel like I can't give 100% thorough opinions on this until I do more than just a first impression. I want to continue to test it out. I want to use other shades, but just from those 3 or 4 shades that I used today, I'm not impressed. I feel like my eyeshadow started going downhill when I started incorporating this into my look. So I really want to keep testing this out. This Blitz shade was just super chunky. I might have to incorporate like a glitter glue or something there. That one Frolic shade that I did use on my inner corner had a really nice formula. So like I said a few times, that's making me think that maybe some of the lighter shades might have a better formula than the darker shimmers, but I'm going to keep testing this out. I also found it weird that the fuse in here was a little bit of a different color than the fuse in my mattes palette, and I also just felt like the mattes in the mattes palette blended and showed up a lot better than this fuse shades. So this is probably my least favorite thing that I tried in today's video, unfortunately, but I'm definitely going to keep testing this out. I don't want to write it off immediately, and then I will let you guys know in a future favorites video or something like that how this is working out for me. Alright you guys, so that is going to complete this video testing Profusion Cosmetics. I'm really happy that I tried out some of these products. A lot of the products were really great, some not as great as others, but nonetheless nothing was super horrible. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed seeing this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and also make sure you guys are subscribed before you leave. I would love to have you guys here as part of my little YouTube fam. If you don't want to miss out on any of my future videos, make sure to click that notification bell down below, and you will get directly notified every single time that I upload a new video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!